I'm going to explain it to you so simple. And I'm going to show you, you've already been doing it, so you won't need it, but you can if you want. So here's the deal. When you learn a story, we want you to do the same thing you've already been doing. What have we been doing? You've been listening to the story, and then you've been saying it out loud. That's the secret. Now, there's a lot of science behind this, and I actually wrote a whole paper on it and all this, but that's it. So you've already been practicing what we want you to do. So whether you read it or you listen to it, if you get it on your phone, on audio or something, listen to the story all the way through. Don't do one verse by one verse by one verse. That's the way most of us were taught to memorize. It does work. It's not the best way. Do it the way we've been doing it, as a whole piece. If you want to put pauses in, put pauses in. That's no problem. But listen to the story or read the story all the way through. If you're reading, put your Bible down, put your phone down, and then tell it out loud all the way through. If you know you're forgetting things, don't worry, don't stop. Just push through it and tell whatever you remember, just like you've been doing with your partners. Okay, it's the same thing. And then, pick up your Bible again and read it again or listen to it again, and then do it again out loud. So what's going to begin happening is just like you've been doing with your partner, as you told the story sometimes, and then you listen to them, you realize, I forgot that part, but now I know it. And so your mind does a copy and paste. Whenever you hear a phrase that you didn't catch before, now it'll take that and it'll put it right in place. So your mind just does that. That's why we want to do it as a whole unit. If you go verse by verse by verse, you're actually building in stopping points. Don't do that. It's harder. So I won't take you through all the science, but I will tell you this. When you do it this way, if you're reading your Bible, you are seeing it. So your eyes are seeing what's there. You're saying it, because we want you to even read it out loud. Don't read it silent. Sometimes when we do this in practice and we're all together, we see people and they're going, and I'll go up and go, huh? I can't hear you. It's not out loud. Do it out loud. Okay, do it like you want your children to hear you, like you want your neighbor to hear you. Because you're seeing it, you're saying it. As you're saying it, your ear is hearing it. Your mind is seeing it. Okay, and the other thing that happens inside there is, as you're saying it, you're actually building some confidence and some practice before you go to tell the story. All right, so you're getting like 5 efforts all in once. So do it this way. Read it out loud or listen to it and then repeat it out loud, back and forth, back and forth. It doesn't matter how many times. And just take your time, work your way through it. Now, something else that Martha mentioned is another thing we want you to consider doing. And we realize people learn differently. My wife, she likes to write it out, because the process of writing out the words, she can see the story better. Okay, for people who don't read and write, that part doesn't work. They might draw pictures, and I've seen some that were just fantastic. Oh, Jody's got one.
So this is just, I know it's hard to see, but this is actually the story that Martha told, and I draw little pictures for myself to just kind of cue my brain. So this was when there was no plant on the ground and there was no rain. So like I do a series of little pictures all over my page to cue memory markers for me on some stories. So sorry,
Yeah,
Ray. I just
good.
talking about
No, that's
computers,
perfect.
thought I'd show it. So
That's perfect. So something else to think about, a way to learn, is think like a movie producer. Okay, so a movie producer, when they're getting ready to shoot a film, there's 3 words that they use before everything starts. Do anybody know what those words are? You've heard them before, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is it lights, camera, action?
Yes, Leanne, that's
Yeah.
it exactly.
Go,
Lights,
Leanne.
camera, action.
Action.
So they say this whenever they're ready to start. So here's what happens, okay? We're going to use those 3 words and think through a Bible story. When the producer says lights, that's what happens. The lights come on. So it's the first chance that you get to see, where is this at? What does it look like? So read through or listen to your story just thinking lights. Look for clues. Where is this at? Is it inside? Is it outside? Is it in a city? Is it in the country? Is it in a boat? Is it in a house? Where? Where? What am I seeing in the story? That's all. Don't worry about anything else. Just get in your mind, where is this? What does it look like? It doesn't matter if your horse is black or white or palomino. Just stick the horse in there. If there's a horse in the story, okay? Just imagine, what does this place look like? The second word, it's lights, then what? Camera. Yes, lights, camera. When the producer says camera, all the people get in place. They don't do anything yet, but they get ready. They're in their place. They're ready to go, but they're frozen. So the second time you read through or listen to the story, think about who are the people and where are they at? You already have the setting in your mind. You're picturing this place and it looks like this. Now put the people in place. Put Cain here and Abel here and mom and dad are over there. And however you want to do that, because it's your movie, it's in your mind. All right. Do use the clues from the story, but that's your second time through. When it's camera, think, who are the people? Where are they at? What's the third word?
Action.
Action. So when the producer says action, what do you think happens? Those people that you put in place in the scene that you produced, they start walking and talking. They start doing things and saying things. So the third time through, read or listen to those things. What are the words? What are the actions? And you are building a movie in your mind so that when you finish with that, all you have to do is rewind it and play that movie and tell what you're seeing. Okay? For some people, that's brilliant. They learn it very, very well that way. Others like the doing it out loud. We want to encourage you to do those, especially the listen to it and speak it out loud, because it just works. It just works so well. It can take a little practice for those of us who are tied to our books and things, but it is very, very effective. And we want you to try this because we know oral learners, that's all they do. I've been with a lot of oral learners, especially in Africa, and I've asked some of them, how many times do you listen to a story like some of these 20, 25 verses before you know it? And they think about it, they say, 2 or 3 times. I think, oh my, wow. It's more for me. It may take me 6, it may take me 8. I don't know. If it's a hard one, it might take me 10 times. I don't know. But the guys that do not rely on reading and writing, they do this so quickly. So for us, we're not going to worry if it takes us 10 times. It doesn't matter. We know that we're going to model something that others are going to pick up very quickly. Even as Palm told us earlier, you know, the children demonstrated they could tell the story quickly. All right. So I'm telling you all of that because Jody is going to give you assignments for stories to learn over the next 2 days. So some of you will have just tonight to practice, and you'll be on tomorrow. Others will have a little bit longer. And before she does that, let me just say, this is going to be practice. We don't expect anybody to be perfect. Some of you may be way better than us. That's fantastic. We'd love that. But there's no expectation to be perfect. The expectation is you try, okay? I know for some of you, this is also not your first language. So we acknowledge that, and it'll be harder for you. And God bless you, because I'm so not smart. I only speak one language. So I'm not as smart as you guys. But we want you to try, and we want you to just do your best, because this is practice. We will help each other. So